So I wanted to show my record collection. I have a lot of records. A lot of them are my dad's from the 60s, 70s and 80s. And he gave them to me because I got a record player about last summer. So yeah, I'm just going to show you some of my records. A lot of them are old, but some of them are new, ones that I bought myself. My dad had the entire Beatles discography except Help and Beatles for Sale. When he gave them to me, I bought Help myself about 2 months ago, and Dad got me Beatles for Sale for Christmas. So now I have the entire Beatles discography. The Beatles are my favourite band, so I have all the records. My music taste is indie, alt, rock, old like rock music. It kind of varies between them kind of genres. Just like my main two on Spotify are indie and rock. Some albums that I really want is Pony by Rex County, which is playing in the background throughout this whole video. And I have bought that on vinyl and it's coming in 2 days. I also really want Honeymoon by Beach Bunny and Prom Queen / Sport. I also really want Immunity by Clairo, Nothing Happens, and Spring EP by Wallows, Kid Crow, Conan Gray, Currents by Tame Impala, Apricot Princess by Rex, Fine Line by Harry Styles, Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2, Yeah by Kanye West, and AM and Best Worst Nightmare by Arctic Monkeys. Also, I Love You by The Neighborhood. Okay, so now to start off with, I have Beatles, Please Please Me. This is my second favorite Beatles album. My favorite songs of this album is P.S. I Love You, Baby It's You, Do You Want No Secret. My least favorite song is A Taste of Honey, but I really don't like A Taste of Honey, but I love all the other songs on this album. I think it's really it's like their first studio album, so I feel like it's a bit underrated. I myself prefer the Beatles from 1962 to 1966. Like their earlier stuff, that's just me. I'm a big fan of their first couple albums. Please Please Me was my favourite for a long time. It's an album that really reminds me of the summer when I started properly. Like, I've been listening to the Beatles since I was a young child. Like, since I was born nearly. My dad loves the Beatles. Of course, he had other vinyl. He was obsessed with them. He played them in the car in the way down on road trips to Wicklow. He would play them everywhere he went, always in the house, on our old record player. And he loves George Harrison, so he used to always listen to George as well. So when I started properly listening to them by myself on Spotify and really getting into them and getting into vinyl, I was listening to Please Please Me over and over and over again. Like, it was just the album that I kept on going back to, and it's just a really strong nostalgic of summer. Yeah, I really love this album. It's a really pretty album. I love the cover and I love how iconic it is, and like how on the Red and Blue album they went back to this cover and remade it. It's very pretty. And it's original as well. All these Beatles albums except Help and Beatles for Sale are the original albums from when they first came out in the 60s and 70s. So the album is with the Beatles. I really love this album. It is my least favourite of the early Beatles from 1962 to 1966. It is my least favourite of them albums, but I still love it. I do listen to it a lot. And when I was listening to the Beatles in order and all their albums, I felt like this kind of blended in between Hard Day's Night and Please Please Me, kind of just like blended. And not a lot of their stuff, not a lot of it is their stuff. A lot of it is not Lennon McCartney or Harrison or Ringo. It's just like different singer songs or isn't original stuff, and I think that's kind of why it's blended into the background, because it's not that kind of like special Beatles. It's not the Beatles. It's a different kind of songs and stuff. Favorite songs off this album is All My Loving, It Won't Be Long, and Till There Was You. My least favorite songs in this album is Devil in Her Heart and Little Child. So yeah. My next album is A Hard Day's Night. Hard Day's Night is my favorite Beatles album. I love the cover and I love the movie. The movie is my favorite Beatles movie. My favorite song off these albums is I'm Happy Just to Dance With You. That's my favorite Beatles song ever. I also love Tell Me Why, Can't Buy Me Love, I'll Cry Instead, Things You Said Today, and A Hard Day's Night. I love this album so much. It's my favourite one. It's my favourite used to be Please Please Me, but the more I listen to Hard Day's Night, it's my favourite. And as I said before, I love old Beatles stuff and like old Beatles stuff. So yeah, my next album is Beatles for Sale. I got this for Christmas, so it's like nice and clean and like new, not like the other ones that they're kind of like old. But I love it. This used to be my least favorite Beatles album, and like overall, but the more I listen to it, the more I like it. The reason I didn't really like the album that much is because a lot of their songs weren't hits or weren't very well known, but the more I listen to it, the more I like all the songs on the album. My favourite song on the album is Honey Don't, Words of Love, 8 Days a Week, but 8 Days a Week skips on this album, which is kind of sad, but it's only a little bit that skips, so it's not that bad. You can't really hear it. No Reply, Babies in Black, Rock and Roll Music. So yeah. So my next album is Beatles Help. I also bought this one myself about 2 months ago. I like this album. It isn't my favourite of the Beatles. It will make my top 5, but I do love this album. My favourite song on this album kind of gives me country vibes, and like, correct me if I'm wrong, but like personally I hear like some kind of country music interpreted in it. Like Act Naturally, listening to that, I'm like, George is wearing a cowboy hat, like come on. He wears like Rubber Soul as well, but like I think they're trying to tell us something, you know. My favourite song off this album is Another Girl, and You're Gonna Lose That Girl. You're Gonna Lose That Girl is my favourite actually. My least favourite is I've Just Seen a Face. Yeah, I also love Act Naturally, but I think it's just because Ringo sings it. So yeah. My next album is Rubber Soul. This is my dad has 2 favourite Beatles albums. This is one of them. He used to play this all the time in the house, on record as well. Look, there's George in his cowboy hat as well. I'm just saying, guys. I love this album. I really do like it. It's kind of like a comfort Beatles album. My favourite songs on this album is Michelle, Girl, Know Our Man, and In My Life. My least favourite is Norwegian Wood, and I know that a lot of people love Norwegian Wood, but I just don't really. My next album is Magical Mystery Tour. Magical Mystery Tour is my favourite Beatles record on vinyl, just because the look of it, it's so cute, and the booklet that it comes with. We have the original booklet. I like flipping through it when I'm listening to the album and read the comic strips again. The comic strips are the cutest. It's a really nice album to have on vinyl, like just the look of it. Yeah, it's my favourite designed album, I should say. But yeah, just my favourite song on this album is Hello Goodbye, just because it was my favourite song growing up. Like, I used to just have it on my MP3 in the car. I used to love it so much. So Hello Goodbye is my favourite song on this album. I also love All You Need Is Love and I Am the Walrus, because I love the reason John wrote I Am the Walrus. And the story behind it. My least favourite song on this album is Your Mother Should Know. I think there's no real reason, it's just my least favourite on this album. But yeah, there's no real reason, but yeah. The next album is the White Album. The exposure from the window is very strong, but you can see like the rain from the vinyl in it. It's probably my least favourite to look at, just because it's just white, and like I know that it is supposed to be, but you can't really see the Beatles in it. In real life, you can kind of see it there in the thing, but when you look at it, you can't really see it. It's also kind of crooked, which kind of hurts my head. So yeah, but it is an original. We lost 2 of the pictures. I only have John and George's photos. We lost Paul's and Ringo's ages ago. But yeah, I do love this album. I feel like it makes all the other albums seem small, because there's like 30 songs. So all the others only have like 10 or whatever in them, and it just makes them look small. But the first song on this album is Helter Skelter and Revolution 1, but Revolution 1 skips a lot, so that kind of hurts. But I love Helter Skelter. I think it's different than all the other songs on the album. I also like Julia, and Honey Pie. My least favorite song on this album is probably Long 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 or Sexy Sadie. But yeah, I do love this album. My next album is Yellow Submarine. I do love Yellow Submarine. It was kind of, every year me and my dad go to a cover band for the Beatles, and they do a different album. And one that is kind of like always stuck with me when I think of the shows is Yellow Submarine show. It was so good. My favourite song used to be Yellow Submarine when I was really young. And All Together Now. Like, this is just my favourite album because I feel like it was more child friendly, I guess. Like, it was very kiddie songs because of the movie. So I used to just listen to this album a lot, and my dad used to stick it on for me in the car. And then he thought I loved it so much that he got the cover band to sing it and dedicate it to me. And like, he was like, this one has been requested, and for all of them in the audience. And it was just kind of funny. And that kind of always sticks with me because I was so embarrassed. Because all the theatre stood up, and like the woman beside me was like, come on, stand up, it's for you. And I was just like mortified. But yeah, so I do love Yellow Submarine and All Together Now, and All You Need Is Love and Hey Bulldog. My least favorite song is Only a Northern Song. Not for any reason, just because I love all the others more, again. But yeah, I love the look of this album and I love the movie. So yeah. Next album is Revolver. This is my dad's favourite album. He used to always also have this on while playing Rubber Soul. All the time. His favourite song is She Said, She Said. But yeah, my favourite song on this album, I think, is Got to Get You Into My Life and Good Day Sunshine. My least favourite song, I think, is Love You Too. But I do love You Too because it's a Harrison song. But yeah, that's my least favourite song. So yeah, I just love the cover of this album as well, that it has them all in it, and on the back Ringo just makes me laugh every time. Like, look at him, he's so happy. Yeah. Abbey Road's in a sleeve. My dad kept it in a sleeve, so it's kind of in perfect condition. So yeah, in my opinion, I think Abbey Road is overrated, but that's just me. I love this album so much, but I feel like it's kind of overrated because it wasn't their last album, but I feel like some people remember it as their last album, so I feel like the cover was so iconic and it's just overrated, I think. Like, out of all there's so many good and so many amazing albums and so many amazing songs, I just don't think that this is their best one. But yeah, my favourite song on this album is Octopus's Garden and Come Together and Something, or Because. But my least favourite song is Me and Mr. Mustard or Golden Slumbers. But yeah. So in case, not that anyone cares, but in case anyone's wondering, I do have Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart Club, but we have it signed. My dad in the 60s or the 70s, I think it's the 70s, I don't know, whenever they were touring, my dad was over in England in the Navy, and he brought his vinyl and got it signed by all 4 Beatles. But yeah, so I do have Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart Club, but I've never played it, and no one has since it's only been listened to once, and that was before it was signed. Let It Be. I think Let It Be is my least favourite album, even though it has one of my favourite songs, Across the Universe, is on it. And Let It Be and One After 909. But I think it's in a whole my least favourite album, and also my least favourite cover, even after the White Album, because it makes me sad that they're like not together. Like, why are they like separate? It's so sad. But yeah, it's definitely my least favourite album, sadly. And it makes me kind of sad because my favourite song is on it. But yeah, my least favourite song on it is For You Blue. My next album is the Beatles' Rarities. My dad got it in 1991. I don't know if that's when it came out. I don't really know what year to listen to it when I don't want to listen to an album again. So yeah. The next 2 albums are the Blue and Red album. They're also the original albums. My favourite album out of these 2 is definitely the Red album because I love 1962 to 1966 Beatles. I love all the songs on it. It's got all my favourite songs from each album are on it. So yeah. My next 2 are my favourite Beatles albums that I own. I have Beatles Live at the Hollywood Bowl. This album because it has all my favourite songs on it again. It's also early Beatles before they stopped touring. So yeah, I really love this album. It's got really good songs on it. Twist and Shout, Roll Over Beethoven, Dizzy Miss Lizzy, Take It to Ride, Can't Buy Me Love, Help, All My Lovin', She Loves You, Hard Day's Night Boys. It's got literally all my favourite songs from like Please Please Me, Hard Day's Night, Beatles for Sale and With the Beatles. But yeah, I love this album. So yeah. My next album is Oldies But Goldies Beatles. My dad also kept this one in a slip. I love this album. It's got really good songs on it, like Day Tripper, Can't Buy Me Love, She Loves You, From Me to You, We Can Work It Out, Help, Michelle, Yesterday, Yellow Submarine, I Wanna Hold Your Hand. Yeah, so I love this album. Yeah, I really love the cover art of it as well. It's very Yellow Submarine. The next 3 albums are my rap albums. I don't have a very big rap collection, but I want to get some more Tyler albums and some more Earl Sweatshirt albums, and hopefully an Odd Future album. I love Odd Future, and I love Tyler and Earl Sweatshirt, and I love Frank Ocean, so hopefully I'll get one of his albums. So yeah, my first album is Doris by Earl Sweatshirt. I wanted to get some rap songs first, but I couldn't kind of find it. It was like unavailable on Amazon when I was ordering my albums. So this one was only £13.64 or something like that pounds, so it was only like €15. So yeah, I really wanted to buy this. I love this album. I love Chum, I love Whoa, and Sunday. They're definitely my favourite songs off this album. I love Doors so much. So yeah, and I really love the cover art of the album. Yeah, it's really pretty. And in the slip is all the lyrics, and yeah. My next album is Flower Boy by Tyler. Tyler is my second favourite singer. He is my favourite solo singer. My favourite band is the Beatles, but Tyler is my idol. I have a big poster of him there, and I have 2 photo walls on that wall. I have 10 rows on each, and on 9 of the rows there's at least 1, maybe 2 photos of Tyler on each row. I love him so much. I have so many photos of him. I have a lot of posters. Yeah, and I have Flower Boy. Flower Boy is my second favourite Tyler album. Second favourite album of Tyler. It is the second album that I ever listened to. I love Flower Boy a lot. Yeah. My favourite songs from Flower Boy is Boredom, Pothole, Glitter, See You Again. And I think my least favourite song was probably Garden Seeds with Lil Wayne. And no, I think it just kind of, it's just in between songs, do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't stick out to me in the album. But I do love this album, and I love the final middle bit. The fact that it's little bees, and I think it's so cute. And yeah, I love this album so much. I got this as a gift from my brother for my junior cert results. So yeah. So my favourite album of all time, my favourite album ever, is Igor. I listen to this album. It is my comfort album. It is every moment in my life is this album. I listen to this album so when I'm happy, when I'm excited, when I'm frustrated, when I'm anxious, everything. I just love it. I'm so attached to it. My favourite songs to this album is New Magic Wand, Puppet, A Boy's a Gun, and Igor's Theme. Igor's Theme I listen to everywhere I go. It's kind of like when I'm walking in the street, I just listen to it because it's so it's such a nice song. It is my favourite album. It's so beautiful. I love it, and I love the cover. I love how iconic it is. The next albums are my indie kind of albums. My first album is Harry Styles' self-titled album. I love this album. This is my favourite album of Harry Styles. I love Fine Line, but this song, there is not a song on it that I don't like. Like, I love it so much. My favourite song on this album is Sweet Creature, Carolina, Ever Since New York, and From the Dining Table. Also Meet Me in the Hallway and Sign the Times. I love them all. I love them all so much. I love the cover. I love the inside. I love how pretty it is. I do have a poster up slightly. Can you see it there? Yeah, there he is. I love Harry. I love him so much. I'm looking for Fine Line at the moment, so hopefully I'll get it, and I hope that I can do like an update with you guys in the next couple of months, because for Christmas I got a few vouchers and some money, so it's all going towards some vinyls. So yeah. My next album is Girl in Red, Beginnings. I got this for Christmas off my friend, and it's beautiful. Girl Mary doesn't have an album at the moment, but she is making one. But this is only available on vinyl, which I think is so cool. And it's her 2 EPs, Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, put together. And so it's like, I Want to Be Your Girlfriend, Say Anything, 4 a.m, Watch You Sleep, Dead Girl in the Pool. It's so good. It doesn't have We Fell in Love in October on it, but, you know, it has all the other best ones, so I love it so much. My favourite song on this is Dead Girl in the Pool and Say Anything. I'll show you the vinyl. So it's a really, really, really pretty crimson red. My next album is McCartney 2. Paul McCartney is my favourite member of the Beatles solo career. I have all the other members' solo careers vinyl, but Paul McCartney's solo career is my favourite. I love Paul so much. I love everything about him. He's my favourite member. My favourite album of his is Paul McCartney 2. I love it so much. I just think it's so pretty. I just think it's such a pretty album. And I think it's a really pretty album, and I have listened to Paul McCartney 3 and I really love it, and I'm hoping to get it on vinyl. I also have McCartney 1, but McCartney 1, but McCartney 2 is my favourite, so that's why it's in my crate. And I'm hoping to get McCartney 3 soon. But I don't think it replaces McCartney 2. It's such a beautiful album. My favourite song is Coming Up and Dark Room. My least favourite song is probably Temporary Secretary. But I love it, and I love the inside covers. It's so pretty, and I love the song. So yeah, so my favourite Wings album itself is Band on the Run. I love Band on the Run. My dad recently bought it on a CD for his car, because he hates using aux cords. I don't know, my dad was old, guys. So he bought CDs. He bought Band on the Run and Hard Day's Night on CD recently, and we've been listening to it in the car. And I just love this album. My favourite song on this album is Let Me Roll It, Jet, Band on the Run, obviously, and No Words. My least favourite song, I think, is Mr. Vanderbilt, but I do love that song. It's just my least favourite again. But I do love this album. I love the cover. I love the load of different celebrities. This is my first Stevie Nicks album. My favourite song off this album is Rock a Little and I Sing for Things. I also love The Nightmare. My least favourite song is No Spoken Word. But I love this album so much. And I love the inside slip for it. All the lyrics on it. It's a really pretty album. I actually really recommend this if you want to get into Stevie Nicks. If you haven't already, I highly recommend it. My next album is Belladonna. I love Belladonna. My favourite Stevie Nicks song is Leather and Lace, which is on this album. It is my favourite song. On this album, definitely. I also love Edge of 17, but everybody loves Edge of 17. And if you haven't heard Edge of 17 or Edge of Midnight, sung with Miley Cyrus, I recommend it. Tusk is my favourite Fleetwood Mac album. I love Tusk a lot. I also love Rumours. I was playing Rumours last night, so that's why it's up there on my shelf. I play whatever album I'm playing at the moment. American Player up there, the empty kind of sheet, the empty album I put up on shelf. So I love Rumours a lot, but it isn't my favourite Fleetwood Mac album. But every song on Rumours is kind of like a good song, so that's why I think people like it a lot. But I love Tusk. A lot of my favourite songs are on Tusk, like Storms, Angel, Tusk, obviously, The Ledge, Save Me a Place. I love all the songs on this album. There's not one song on this album that I do not like. And I love that it doesn't open up, it's like a slit in the middle, so there's 2 sections. But yeah, I love this album. My last album is The Best of Blondie. This is the last album I'm going to show you guys. The Best of Blondie. I love Blondie. I kind of grew up with Blondie. I do have a Blondie poster there. You can only see the top of it over my TV, but it is a Blondie poster, I promise. I love Blondie. She is just everything. And this is kind of my favourite one to listen to because it's their hits. This is the back. It's 14 of their hits. The album kind of is broken. It's kind of popped at the bottom, and so now it's kind of like the 2 sides. But my favourite songs off this album is Dreaming and Hanging on the Telephone. I also love Rapture and Heart of Glass, Atomic, Oh Call Me, and Ripper the Sheds. My least favourite song on this album is Union City Blue, but I do love Union City Blue. It's just my favorite on this album. Well, I feel like there isn't a bad song on this album. It's her hits, like they're so good. So yeah, that's my last album. I'm hoping to get some new vinyl. I know that there's one arriving on Thursday, and I'm getting Pony. So yeah, I'm hoping to get some new albums soon enough, so I'll give you a part 2. Hi, so it's me again. I forgot to say that I have this whole shelf of records that I didn't show you today. They aren't necessarily my favorites, but they're ones that I really like. And I can show you them in another video if you guys want, along with my new ones that I'm getting soon. So if that would be something that you guys want, I can probably do a better video. I just don't really feel great today. It wasn't a great video, and I'm aware of it, but if you guys would be interested in another better vinyl collection video with different vinyls, I can do that. I hope you really enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and yeah, bye!